It's not pretty out there. It's not pretty out there. That is the Bitcoin chart. You're looking at the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, giving us, while Bitcoin was doing so well, we were almost at 69,000. In fact, on some exchanges, we hit that 69,000. And then Bitcoin went all the way down to 62,480. That is 10% in the matter of 3 to 4 hours. We are going to look at what caused this crash, whether we think this crash is over, and whether you should be selling your crypto. Don't do anything until you have watched the show, because I know it's not a scheduled show, but the information that we're going to give you now is critical to the decisions that you're going to be making. Don't miss the rest of the show. Let's get the show.
Yo, come here, CryptoBanter crew. Guess what?
6 in the morning, what the hell are you doing? Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, we going straight to the moon. This time you listen to the sniper, cause he knows what he's doing. The way he analyzes trends, yo, you know he's a shoe, and it's overflowing. I think my money's going straight through the roof. I need to take me a broom so I can rake in the loot. It's Banter Fan with the answers, man, and that's thanks to Rand. He's dropping knowledge on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Degenerates taking over in altcoins, we making moolah. Just bought me some Doge, and you know that we definitely staking Luna. Bam, yo, that 5 count sunny. Out here living lavish, yo, we making wives, changing money. This lifestyle is lovely. CryptoBanter is the channel that can help you spike up your money. Just open your eyes and invest in the future. There are protocols out there that are destined to do stuff. Trust me. See, they tell us all the time, CryptoBanter is the channel that is changing our lives. Now smash the like button, smash the like button. The sniper's right 100% of the time, brother. CryptoBanter.
Welcome back, Banter fam. You know this is an unscheduled stream. You know that this is an unscheduled stream, but we had to come to you. We had to come to you live to talk to you about what's going on the markets and let you know whether or not you should be afraid. It was quite scary out there. It's red. Look at this. That's Bitcoin. That's the 1 hour chart. It started off here when Bitcoin was touching all-time highs, 69,000 on this exchange, on Bitstamp. And then in a series of candles, Bitcoin went from 69,000 all the way down to 62,800. What caused this crash? Is it going to continue? Should we be worried? Should we be selling our crypto? That is what we're going to be talking about on the stream. And we got Birb, and hopefully Sheldon Tentino can make it. He's on the way back. He went jet skiing today, and he went back. So. If you are new to this channel, welcome to CryptoBanter. We're on 2, 3, 4 times a day. And if you missed my show earlier, it was our biggest show. Go and click on that show, because that show will change your life. Guaranteed. If it doesn't change your life, I'll give you your money back. Subscribe to our channel, like our content. When you subscribe to our channel, you tell other people that this is a good channel. You tell the YouTube algorithm that this is a good channel. When you like our content, it tells the YouTube algorithm that we are a good channel and that this is a good show. And then it goes out to the entire crypto community. So please support us. That's all you need to do. Let's talk about what is going on the markets. We had this Bitcoin crash. During this Bitcoin crash, we saw a whole lot of leverage liquidations. In fact, we saw in the last 12 hours, in the last 4 hours, we got $500 million liquidated on the major exchanges. Over 170,000 traders have been liquidated. And if you have been watching our live streams, you will know that we have been extremely concerned about the amount of leverage in the market. I've been warning you guys for the last 3 days that I think a pullback is coming, because the fear and greed index was very high, and because there was a lot of leverage in the market. In fact, let me try and get you guys a chart and show you what the leverage looked like earlier today. Let's have a look at this chart. Okay, this is the exchange leverage ratio as it was earlier today. Now you can see the blue line shows you that the Bitcoin leverage was actually at an all-time high earlier on today before this market leverage shake-off. Then, if you look at this tweet, if you look at this tweet from Dylan Leclerc, he said, why the pullback from 68,000? Well, there was a massive increase in Bitcoin margin futures open interest this afternoon. In other words, so many people took Bitcoin on leverage this afternoon, and those traders are being shaken out. That is what the leverage chart looked like from earlier on today. You can see that the Bitcoin leverage went high. Why? Because people were aping into this green candle that happened. So this green candle started at 66,000 and went all the way up to 69,000 in a matter of 2 hours. And that, as soon as that happened, what happened? People went out and said, okay, we need to get into this market. And how do you get into this market? Well, you take out leverage. You try and take out leverage. And what happened then? What happened then was we received news. Now, we don't know if this news is true or not true, but we received news that Evergrande, the Chinese company, the second largest real estate developer in China, the one that gave us market jitters a month or so ago when we thought that they were going to default on their debt. Well, Evergrande, the second largest real estate developer in China, has officially defaulted on its bonds. And the concern here was that Evergrande has so much leverage from so many different individuals and banks and other companies in China that if Evergrande crashes, it could start a financial crash that would shake the entire world. Where does this information actually come from? Well, let's have a look. There was an article which was published by a insider paper, which says China's Evergrande has officially defaulted. DMSA prepares to file bankruptcy. Now, there have been conflicting reports all day as to whether they have actually defaulted. So if you do a Google search and you go and look as to whether or not they have defaulted, you'll find a whole lot of articles. Let me actually show you this. So let's look at Evergrande, which is, I'm going to do a search of Evergrande, and you'll see one says default imminent. Okay, let's look at it in English. Hold on, why am I getting Portuguese results? Okay. Reuters says Evergrande teeters on the edge of default as 148 million payment falls due. Let's look at all the different news articles. Then there was one by the New York Times which said that Evergrande actually met the interest rate payment that it was supposed to pay. So there are conflicting reports as to whether Evergrande has defaulted on its debt or hasn't defaulted on its debt. The FUD started when this insider paper, this was the first news outlet to publish and say, China's Evergrande officially defaulted. The DMSA prepares to file bankruptcy. So who is this DMSA and how can they be putting China's second or third biggest property developer into bankruptcy? Well, let's read this article quickly. It says, China's Evergrande has officially defaulted on interest payments to international investors. DMSA is invested in these bonds and has not yet received interest payments. The DMSA is investing in these bonds and has not yet received any interest payments until the grace period expires today. Now, DMSA is preparing to file for bankruptcy against Evergrande and is seeking the support of the bondholders. And what it says here is China's Evergrande Group, the second largest retail developer in China, has defaulted on payments on 2 bonds with a 30-day grace period until ending in October. However, shortly before the grace period, the public was misled by rumors about the alleged interest payments. The international media also took those rumors for granted. Only one company, the DMSA, Deutsche Marktscreening-Agentur, German market screening agency, already recognized the default at the time and provided in a study that the bankruptcy of Evergrande, the world's most indebted corporation, could ultimately lead to the Great Reset and financial meltdown. And there's a whole link over here. Now, what they're saying here is that this company, this DMSA, actually went and bought bonds related to Evergrande so that they could put Evergrande into liquidation. And it says, in order to file for bankruptcy against the company as a creditor, DMSA itself invested in Evergrande bonds whose grace period expired today. In total, Evergrande would have had to pay $148 million in interest on 3 bonds no later than today. But so far, we have received no interest payment. And what he says here is that they are going to run to the courts. It says as soon as the courts opens, insolvency proceedings, as soon as the court's insolvency proceedings open, Evergrande will also be officially bankrupt. And it's only a matter of days. So that is what's going on. It's this DMSA company threatening to put Evergrande into liquidation because they have missed their payments. Now, again, we don't know if this is FUD or not FUD because there have been articles saying that they've paid, but that news managed to shake the stock markets. So if you look at the stock markets, the US stock markets were up. This is the Dow Jones, was at 36,360 and crashed all the way down to 36,000 earlier today, on the news or on the jitters that Evergrande may be defaulting on its loan repayments. So those are the facts. No one knows what's going on, but the market is starting to worry as to whether Evergrande is going to default on its debt. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. My feeling is that they won't. My feeling is that this may be another warning shot, and I don't think that Evergrande is going to crash tomorrow. But, I do want to show you something. For those of you who have been watching our shows, and particularly the show that we had yesterday, I showed you guys that the cycle in 2017 was exactly to the day following the cycle that we're in today. In fact, I think we were 1 day behind. And so I'm going to take you to the 10th of November. Let's go into November. Okay, here is November. And I said to you guys that I think we're going to get a red candle pretty soon because the leverage was getting pretty high. And we can see that the red candle is coming. In fact, let me show you something else. Let me take you to 2017. Let me show you 2017. Okay, this is going to freak you guys out. If you were expecting a cycle like 2017, look at this. That is the 8th of November. It's a big green candle with a big green wick, just like the one that we've just had. There it is. And that is the 8th of November, 2017. And then we had a correction, and the correction went from 7,900 down to 5,500. So about a 25 or 30% correction. And on that day, we can see that kicked off the parabolic bull run and the alt season. In fact, let me show you the total 2 chart, which is the altcoin chart. And let me take you back to 2017. Let me take you all the way back to 2017. And let me take you to the 9th of November. Look what happened to altcoins just after the 9th of November. So, should we be worried, or are we just repeating the 2017 cycle to the day? Let's get Birb on the line, because he'll tell us. Mr. Birb, I know I woke you up, bro. I heard it. I woke you up, bro.
You did not. You did not. It's been a long day, but you did not.
I phoned Birb and I said to him, Birb, let's go live together now in 20 minutes. And he was like, okay, let's do it. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
And you, brother, what do you think? Is this anything to worry about? Should we be worried about Evergrande? When you look at the chart, were you expecting this pullback?
The pullbacks were always expected. Am I really worried about that? No, I'm not really worried about that at all, because Bitcoin keeps printing, the new all-time highs pretty much every other day. It's showing very much of the technical strength. Wow, you were dehydrated. You just literally
I've been running around the whole day in Lisbon.
Got the whole bottle just like that. Crazy. But the truth is that Bitcoin is showing so much of the technical strength right now that it's not really bothering to see this Evergrande news. And on top of that, all that I know, the same way that they pull China bans, they say that the same way that they pull off any other news in order to manipulate the markets. They do it in order to manipulate the market, usually to flush the liquidity, to decrease the exposure of the over leveraged positions, to decrease the open interest a bit, to force close, some of the, again, over leveraged traders in order to clear, kind of like get the market clean, in order to get the room and space for the new money to kick in, which is usually probably going to FOMO in right now, because there's a lot of FOMOing from the institutional side. There is huge demand from the retail side. We keep printing new all-time highs. The on-chain, I have a couple of on-chain indicators. I can show a couple of charts in a second. But all of these on-chain indicators are lagging behind the price, which tells you that the price is growing and we're not even using the full power of the network just yet. So it's pretty crazy how much of the upside room potential it has, in my opinion.
Well, we also heard that inflation was 6.2%. I mean, 6.2%. 6.2% is third world inflation. I mean, there you're talking about countries like Argentina, countries like Greece, countries like, it's underdeveloped economies. And now you have 6.2% inflation in the United States. When that happened, when we heard that news that the inflation was truly 6.2%, the market woke up. And the market started talking and said, you know what? It's time to go all into Bitcoin. I don't know, that big candle that we saw today was exactly timed on the release of the inflation announcement. In fact, I'm looking for it right here. I've got to see if I've got it here. So just see if there was a tweet. I think here we go. So it was a tweet from Pump, and Pump said, breaking, inflation came in at 6.2%. And Bitcoin went immediately to an all-time high. Now, look at the time there, okay? So that was at 2:16 p.m. when it came out. Now look at when Bitcoin started pumping. Look at that. 1 o'clock. That's when Bitcoin started pumping.
Classic. Yeah, this is pretty classic. This is how the bots usually, trading algorithms usually position it there and put in the market by the institutional, like by investment banks, by some huge funds. They always operate via not the humans, not the human errors to allow it, but they would rather rely on the advanced AI-based algorithms, which usually filter the sentiment, and they react immediately within like extremely low lag and span time. They react immediately to the news, right? And whether it's a bullish news or bearish news, the same way, they very much know those people who manipulate the markets, those institutions who manipulate the market very well, they are perfectly aware that they have the power to trigger the algos. And all that it takes is just putting the right words in the headlines of the main newspapers, of the Reuters, of the Bloomberg, and so on and so forth.
Well, hold on. This is why I said I don't think that this is real, because I think that if Evergrande defaulted on its debt, I don't think that it would have been insider paper that would have broken it. And if I look at the news headlines from places like Bloomberg, so let's quickly go to Bloomberg so we can just see what Bloomberg reported. If I remember correctly, Bloomberg actually reported that the interest payments were made. So hold on, let me just accept all their cookies and all their paywalls, and let's have a look here. Let's quickly do a search on their site and just look for Evergrande and see what comes up. Bloomberg are the experts of charging you, so they're gonna ask me to charge. So see what they said here is they came out earlier today and they said Evergrande set to avoid default after paying overdue interest. So you had that conflicting with that. To me, what this feels like is it was an opportunity to manipulate crypto. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. But to me, this was an opportunity to completely manipulate crypto. Wait for the leverage to get high. When the leverage gets high, report Evergrande has defaulted on its debt. And maybe they have. I'm not saying they haven't. But I just think that if it was official, outlets like CNBC and CNN would have probably picked this up. And right now, the only outlet that I've seen that I trust, the only outlet I've seen that's reporting this is this Inside Paper and Morning Brew. But I think Morning Brew then corrected and said Evergrande has made at least 2 overdue bond interest payments. Yeah. Now
That's not surprising. Not surprising at all. A lot of confusion.
Yeah. So it does seem like it could be market manipulation or just a warning shot. Let's look at the on-chain metrics. You're talking about some on-chain metrics. Let's look at the on-chain metrics and see what they point to.
Yeah, so for better context for everybody, first of all, this is today's candle for the week, okay? And this is this entire context. And if anybody tells me this is bearish, this candle is bearish, or Bitcoin is in bear market, or it's bearish because of this candle, then I'm sorry to disappoint them. To start with, a very successful and strong, very high momentum leg up ever from the breakout of the triangle pattern of $42,000 all the way up to 67. The pennant pattern, which followed, consolidating kind of like a triangle form in a way, with a very successful breakout, just like you said as well. Knowing this had to do, this had to do with this timing, perfect timing. When something is too perfect in the market, it's usually orchestrated too well. So this inflation, 6.2, by the way, in Poland, it's 6.8 officially, but I think it's near 10. So it's still crazy. But one way or another, I definitely, this candle, this very last candle does not negate this entire thing that happened in there, right? This does not look like the most bullish it could get. I, of course, was expecting some bullishness.
I'm not as good a chartist as you, but I've learned a few things from Sheldon. And usually what Sheldon says is that when we break a trend, which is exactly what's happening there, typically what you do is you're going to get a retest, and then you're going to continue to go up.
Yeah,
and
of course.
To me, it looks like you had an aggressive breakout of that trend, and now you're coming down for the retest, and now you're going to shoot straight back up.
Yeah, that's it. So you had of course highly leveraged longs. You had a lot of retails FOMO in. The market was dirty and then definitely overexposed. So this liquidity flushing happens a lot, especially that it is in the long term kind of very important area of the prior weakness. So this happens, all this price action happens in the previous area of weakness. So it's still showing strength. It's showing technical strength in the previous area of weakness. This is called reclaim. The bull market, the bulls are reclaiming the market right now, and it's just local irrelevant thing that is happening. It touched lower volume weighted average price trend line, which shows you the fair price of the Bitcoin based on volume was 62,921, which it did tagged. Right, there is a chance that if the FUD continues, it tags 58,705, but I wouldn't necessarily expect that so easily. We would need to have a lot of FUD to move this market this much down there. On top of that, the Bollinger Bands on the lower side on the intraday basis, are actually oversold already. It was tagged for the lower band, which is the abnormal volatility was kind of healed. It was covered, right? Based on the Bollinger Bands, which covers 95% of the time. For Bitcoin, it's already kind of pretty much expired for the move that it could take, at least for now. And my two very important metrics, three. One is the hash rate. The other one is the number of active addresses. But with this difference that it is 168-hour moving average, which is practically a weekly average, weekly mean, taken into hourly chart per se. So this is Bitcoin's chart, and this is the on-chain chart per the number of active addresses. So it tells you that the market, keeps making the new highs, right? It made the new high in here. It made the new high in here, higher high. The market practically, locally, if you take it in the local comparison and take it vertical comparison again, then you're going to notice in here that the market per the on-chain side, per the number of active addresses, had its highs, okay, and where Bitcoin was pretty much making the lower highs still inside the triangle, and it printed new highs on the price, but no new highs on the on-chain side. So it tells you that the price on the price is ahead of the on-chain. The on-chain is lagging behind the price, and this tells me that if the price is able to kick off and rally harder and faster than the on-chain, then it tells me that the on-chain still leaves a lot of upside potential, because imagine what happens if it catches up with Bitcoin, right? If it's pumping already so hard without even the help of on-chain so much. Another metric, NUPL, which is one of my favorite ones, net unrealized profit and loss, which shows you the amount of the money, the liquidity pool in the market. and basically tells you about how leveraged, how certain people are about the money that they keep on the table as unrealized profit, right? And basically same story.
It shows that they're confident in the market. Unrealized profit means that people are confident in the market.
Exactly, right? So new highs in here, lower highs in here. This doesn't necessarily apply like a proper technical analysis based like divergence, like a bullish or bearish divergence. But knowing the larger context, knowing that we're still, nowhere near even, like we're already breaking the new highs of April and May, and this was the April and May's kind of like values, right? 0.75, it was like historically high, but not at its highest levels, and we are here right now. So the market is way less leveraged, way less exposed, extended at the new highs, at higher levels than in April, when we compare that with the April's prices. So it's very very bullish for the recovery point of view, from the recovery point of view. And just like you said, it had on the equities, S&P 500, just for instance, it had obvious, throwbacks, right? Those throwbacks are not necessarily bad per se. They're natural part of, like, whenever ascends, it has to descend at one point, and at least for a moment. You had beautiful patterns for reversals, like head and shoulders in here. This, of course, like takes with the inflation coming, the stocks rally.
Well,
so
we should.
You see corrections. Yeah,
we should take it back one step. If Evergrande collapses, what happens? Well, the government has to bail out Evergrande. That's basically what happens. How would the government bail out Evergrande? They would print more money, because that's the only way that they could bail out Evergrande. They would do what they did. They learned the playbook in 2008. Remember, in 2008, we had the subprime housing collapse, which is actually exactly what Evergrande is. And what the governments then learned is that the only way that they can fix this is by printing more money. And if they're going to print more money, that's just going to drive stock prices up and asset prices up, because it's just going to create more and more and more inflation. And that's the conundrum that governments are in at the moment, is they only have one tool, because there's no more interest rate tools. They only have one tool, and that one tool is to print more money. Can they print more money? Nope. Yeah. All right, Birb, I don't want to keep the stream going for too long. I don't want to keep the stream going for too long.
I have one thing to show for everybody, for beautiful Banter fam. If we can screen share that. First of all, this is like all the insights that I'm sharing. I actually explained it in my free report on the website. Okay, you get it on the blog. Okay, so we can get it anytime. It's free.
Okay, so that's the website is thebirbnest.com. I'm going to say this to you guys: if you do not subscribe to the Birb Nest newsletter, and if you do not subscribe to the Birb Nest YouTube channel, okay, if you don't subscribe, and if you do not follow the Birb on Twitter, you're basically just throwing away money. You may as well just take money out of your pocket and just drop it on the floor when you walk. That's basically what you may as well be doing. Then talk to us about this 500 follower celebration Congress, because I see you've been tweeting about it a lot. You WhatsApp me about it. Yeah. Tell me about exactly what this is.
Yeah, so basically, I'm very happy to invite everybody, Joran especially, and then your entire beautiful community, the Banter community. We are celebrating my 500,000 followers. So, and because of that, we're organizing the third official event of 2 weeks of virtual camp, which is 14-day free trading congress for traders, where everybody internationally can come in for 2 weeks straight, free of any charge whatsoever. Come and learn and enjoy multiple broadcasts a single day with hedge fund managers, with professional market proficients, with market experts, with myself, with certified market analysts, with my team all day long, with biggest names in the space. Hopefully we get you around there as well.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to support you, my brother. I'm going to support you in whatever you do. So if you need me to come and talk or be there, I'm there.
Beautiful. Let's make that happen. And everybody, free of charge. There's already more than 18,000 people who have signed up in the past 5 days. 18,000 people who have signed up to participate in this free virtual congress, virtual camp, 2 weeks straight. It's pretty crazy. But I'll ask Ran to put it somehow, to send the links to you either in the video.
In the description link of this video, it will be in the description link of this video for the people watching and the people who are not watching in the description. Guys, who gives you 2 weeks of the most insane trading and crypto school for free? It does not exist in the history. In the history of the world, I don't know anybody who's given away a 2-week trading course at this level for free. So subscribe to Birb's channel. I want to watch you guys do it. Give the man some love. He's so good to us on our channel. He's such a good member of our family. He has a YouTube channel. It's called The Birb Nest. It is unbelievable. There is a description link below. Go to the description link and go and subscribe, and let's break this channel. Let's get the Birb Nest over 100,000 subscribers, because if anybody deserves it, Birb deserves it. Follow him on Twitter and go and sign up to the newsletter and the 500,000 subscriber training course. That is what we need to do to people. We must help people who help us. End of story. Do it, guys. Do it.
You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Everybody, go ahead. Join in.
No, brother, you're the best. I'll chat to you soon, my friend. Have a good night.
Let's do this. Let's do this. See you on the Congress, everybody.
Much love, brother. God, the guy's just calming. He's got an amazing calming demeanor about him. I feel cool now. I feel like everything's going to be okay. Now, remember what we said. We had the cash-o-meter. And I said to you guys, I am accumulating cash. Question is, am I actually starting to deploy the cash that I have been accumulating? Yeah, that was a cash-o-meter 2 days ago, but in the last 2 days, I actually accumulated 2.5% more cash. So 25% of my portfolio is sitting in cash. Am I going to start deploying it? The answer is not yet, because I'm not comfortable that there is enough leverage out of the market. I'm not comfortable that there is enough leverage out of the market. I'm not comfortable that all the leverage has been washed out. And so I'm not comfortable yet to go in. And remember that Sheldon and I have these portfolios. We have these Kucoin portfolios, and I'm still 100% in cash. My suggestion is watch Sheldon's show. It's going to happen tomorrow morning. And tomorrow we may actually deploy cash. Right now, sit on your hands. Do not buy. This is not the crash. This is not, there's going to be a little bit more blood before this market turns. I wouldn't sell. If you're holding good quality stuff, I would not sell. If you're holding shitcoins that you don't believe are going to change the world, then this is a warning shot. Cut your losses and put them into good coins or put them into cash, and wait for the right market buying opportunity. Wait for the indicators to tell us that there is a right market buying opportunity. The indicators will tell us when the leverage is out and we've shaken out the leverage hands and this China FUD blows over, or when we are reasonably confident that it's not true. That is when we're going to start aping in. Do not start aping in now. We haven't seen enough panic. The market's not ready enough. The leverage is not out there. Look at this chart over here. Does that look? This is the hourly chart. That look like all the leverage is out? I want the leverage back here. That's where I want the leverage. Then I will say that it is safe to start buying. But right now, the leverage is not out. Do not FOMO into anything right now. Because if this Evergrande news does get worse, Bitcoin could go down. And it could go down a whole lot more. It could go down. It could go down to even 50,000 if this Evergrande news is true. And when that happens, you want to have cash. The man with the most dry powder will celebrate the hardest. That I promise you. So we'll see you guys again in a few hours. I will hope to get Sheldon on the stream, but he went jet skiing today, so I'm sure he'll come back. I think that we'll see you guys again tomorrow, and I think tomorrow we may have some buying opportunities. Until then, sit on your hands. Don't trade well, my friends. Just sit on your hands. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. If you like the stream, subscribe to our channel.
Smash those likes, give it some love. Smash those likes, yeah, yeah. Smash those likes, give it some love. Smash those likes, yeah, yeah. Smash those likes, give it some love. Smash those likes, yeah, yeah. Smash those likes, give it some love. Smash those likes, yeah.
Smash those likes. I don't have a voice anymore.
Smash those likes.
My voice is gone.
Oh. That was funny. That was a great